All right, so looking at our shopping cart, looking at our objects, it looks like we are trying to maintain a ordered amount. So in other words, I might order 3 of this one and 4 of this one, or something along those lines. And so each one of these objects is storing how many items are being ordered for that particular product. And at the moment, obviously, we have 0 and 0. So let's go ahead and make a paragraph tag, paragraph that's going to display item.ordered. And so we can kind of keep track of if somebody ordered something. And both of those are currently 0. So we'll also add ordered, just for a label here. And so we can see that both of these have 0 ordered. Well, how do you order one? Well, we're going to click on a button. So let's go ahead and make a button. And we'll say order. And then I'll put in item.name. So order stitch, or no, order whatever. Let's see how that works out. Order stitch, order Hawaii keychain. Perfect. So now we have to create a click event for that button so that they'll be able to order either the keychain or the plushie toy. So now we need to make a click event for our button. And so in order to do that, we need some kind of method to call when we click on that event. So here in my Vue instance, Vue is expecting or can take a data object, which is going to return all of our field properties, our fields. So you can also create something called a methods object. So I'm going to paste in some code I already have. So again, this word is not user defined. This is Vue defined. If you would like to create some methods, then you're going to create an object that is going to be a series of or objects of functions. So in other words, I now have a function called order this, and all this is doing at the moment is it's going to put up an alert box. So the idea here is I'm going to come into my button. I'm going to do a click event, and we do that with v on : and then the event that you want to attach to it. In this case, it's going to be a click event equals, and then the name of equals, and then the name of the method that you want to fire. In this case, it is order this, so I'm going to put order this. And let's see if that in fact works. So now when I come back in here and I click on my Stitchy toy, Stitch plushie toy, then I'm definitely getting alert box, which isn't very unique to each of these individual items, but we're just getting things started. All right, so what we're going to do then in order to make these unique, super easy, a method can receive, or we can set up a parameter, right? So I'm going to set up a parameter. I'm going to call it obj item. And the only reason why I'm calling it obj is because I want to remind you that I can send into this method an object. And in fact, every time we loop through our for loop here, item is in fact receiving our entire object, right? So can I send this whole object into this method? And the answer is yes, because once I click on order this, remember, I have an individual object in item. Each iteration, item is a unique object. The first iteration, it's this object. The second iteration, it's this object. So I can send the individual item object into this method. And so what I'm going to do then, just to prove that that's what is working, is I'm going to console log obj item. And so just to see that that part is working, let's run this code again. So I'm going to refresh the page. I'm going to go into my dev tools, and let's see, I'm going to go to console, and we're going to click on Stitchy, the first one, Stitch plushie toy. And here's what I'm getting output. So remember, we had a target. So just like we've done before with event target, same thing. So I have that target property, and in the target property I have the alt, I have the image name, and image source and the image name. And so if I click on the second one, then I'm getting that same kind of output, right? For target, then this target is the keychain and the aloha. And so the theme is the same from what we've been doing all semester. It just makes it a little bit easier. We don't have to write so much code because Vue's doing all the hard lifting underneath the hood. So what that means is I have obj item, and part of what I have here is ordered. So if I update the ordered for that object, I can change ordered to 0, 1, or 2. And then since ordered is tied directly to my DOM, by changing ordered here, Vue is automatically going to update that value in here. Let me demonstrate that to be true. So I'm going to take obj item, I'm going to get to its ordered property, and we're going to add 1 to it, increment it by 1 every time. And so if we've done this right, when I click on the button here, ordered is going to keep incrementing by 1, which it's doing. And in fact, if you really wanted to, you could go into the Vue Dev Tools, and you should see it being changed in there as well. So let me come in here and reiterate that point. You can see that this is 3. If I click on Plushie again, we see our Dev Tools is showing us that it's 4, and we're also seeing the 4 being updated here. But that is a unique instance, and it's not affecting our second object. So if I click on this button, then it should affect just the second object, which it is. I should be able to see that here. There's 1, but my stitch is untouched, right? Because we've been able to, Vue's doing all the work behind the scenes of keeping those all separated. So that's very cool.